The squeak
Nurse,
was
I can't
wrong,
breathe.
not the gentle
Okay,
rubber
just
on
breathe
linoleum
slowly. I'm
sound,
here.
but a sharp,
It hurts. I'll
predatory
get the
creak
doctor.
of someone standing still, listening. From her station, Nurse Era Vance watched room 312. Mr. Henderson's veined hand gripped the bed rail, knuckles white. He stared at the ceiling, breath frozen, like prey sensing a predator. The squeak came again, closer. At 2:17 a.m.,
Just
the
that's the
third-floor
pattern. I
corridor
need to
was dead
verify the
silent except
times.
for the ice machine hum and oxygen concentrators. Marco, the bulky night orderly, drifted past. He paused outside 312, head cocked, listening, then walked on without a sound until he stopped again. The instant he vanished, Mr. Henderson shuddered, a dry sob escaping. Era noted it. 2:18 a.m., Marco passes, patient distressed. The seventh time in 3 weeks. Cedar Grove felt wrong. Too quiet, especially the West Wing, home to the most vulnerable, nonverbal residents. No call lights, no sounds between midnight and dawn. Mrs. Gable in 214 was lucid at 11 p.m., then sobbing and bruised by morning, wrists marked with faint fingerprints that faded by evening. Mr. Henderson's untouched trays were logged as full meals. Fear lived in every darting eye and flinch. Era raised it with Supervisor Brenda, Marco's aunt. The West Wing goes completely silent for hours. They're sleeping. Clean floor means good floor. Don't look for trouble. But trouble wore squeaking orthopedic shoes. The breaking point came in the supply closet. Era overheard Marco and Dean. Henderson was a handful tonight. Kept trying to get up, nearly yanked his catheter. Did you give him the cocktail? Had to. Little something to help him sleep. He'll be groggy, but Brenda'll cover it. Better than a broken hip. Cold dread hit Era. Unprescribed sedatives. Chemical restraints. The silence wasn't peace, it was drugged stupor. Charts were lies. Patients were problems to silence. She was alone against the system. Brenda was compromised. Director Davies cared only about budget. Then she remembered Stitch, the big, bearded biker who visited his grandmother Agnes in 208 every Sunday. Staff feared him and his Grizzly Mountain Motorcycle Club friends, but Era had seen his gentleness with Agnes. He was her only hope. She bought a tiny hidden camera and a large USB drive. For 3 weeks she recorded the night shift, hiding the device under med carts, in fake plants, even in her pocket. 21 nights of proof. Rough handling, ignored pleas, mockery, overmedication, bragging about cocktails. She barely slept. Dark circles, weight loss, constant jumping at noises. On the final Sunday, USB heavy in her pocket, she waited. When Stitch emerged from Agnes's room, she intercepted him at the elevator. Can I talk to you privately? In the stairwell, voice shaking, I'm Era Vance, night nurse. Your grandmother, and all of them, aren't safe here at night. Things happen the day shift never sees. Management won't listen. I have proof. She held out the trembling drive. He studied her terror, took it gently, zipped it into his vest. I'll take care of it, he rumbled. Go home. Don't answer calls. Don't talk to anyone here. You were brave. Let us handle the rest. Relief loosened the knot in her gut for the first time in weeks. Stitch gave the drive to his club's VP, their ex-Army intel, and their lawyer. After watching, Bear emerged grim, worse than you imagine. Plan. No violence, just overwhelming presence. Next morning, 8:45 a.m., 12 motorcycles rolled in silently, parked neat. 12 large men in leather vests entered the pastel lobby and spread out. 2 at entrance, 2 at elevators, 2 at hall end. Silent. Still. Intimidating. Receptionist stammered. Stitch. We're just waiting. At 9 o'clock sharp, lawyer with emergency injunction and APS alert and investigative journalist arrived, each with copies of the footage. Stitch placed the original drive on Davies's desk. Evidence of felony abuse and neglect under your watch. APS and police are coming. Reporters in the lobby. My lawyer's securing the premises. We're here to make sure nothing disappears. We're not leaving. Davies went white. Cornered. From across the street, Era watched investigators arrive, then Marco and Dean led out in cuffs, faces slack. Brenda questioned, arrogance gone. Relief crashed over her, she cried from released tension. Stitch tapped her window. It's over. They're safe now. You did this. You saved them. The investigation was swift. Videos undeniable. Rough handling, mockery, illegal sedation, audio bragging. Charges piled up against Davies, Brenda, Marco, Dean. Facility license suspended, under state receivership. Story triggered statewide reviews, exposing more homes. Inside Cedar Grove, healing began. New compassionate director. Era commended, promoted to head nurse, helped hire ethical night staff. Cameras in common areas, advocacy protocols. Mr. Henderson spoke again, Baker stories, hands needing air instead of rails. Mrs. Gable, free of illicit drugs, painted vibrant flowers from memory. The Grizzlies stayed, adopted the place. Sunday BBQs in courtyard, holiday gifts, repairs, raised garden beds. Fierce, loving guardians. Family. Facility renamed Agnes Haven after Stitch's grandmother, who lived her final years safe and loved. Stitch called Era, Sparrow, small, but lion-hearted. Her whisper became the loudest voice. Years later, on the patio of Agnes Haven, Era watched Stitch grill burgers while residents tapped to classic rock. Mr. Henderson joked with Bear, laughter shaking the big man's belly. Air smelled of onions and roses. One person's courage had rippled outward, transforming everything. We all hear that small voice saying, "This is wrong." The question is, do we listen and act?